So it looks like we're live. Anybody here? Somebody send a chat if we're getting out. I haven't used this software in a while and I don't remember how it works. According to YouTube, there's 2 people watching. Hey Isaac, man, how you doing? Merry Christmas. It looks like we got a few viewers watching. Who all's here? How's my audio sound? Am I too loud, too low? So anyway, what we're doing today is I'm looking at some maps to see what exactly where we can go in the future. For the last year, it's been kind of difficult to get very far from home. We haven't had any time to make any long trips. Merry Christmas, Scott. Uh, we've been pretty much staying within the state of Louisiana. I think the furthest we've been away from home since about a year ago is we went to the Gulf Coast, Biloxi, for cruising the coast back in October. And other than that, we haven't been anywhere since that US 61 trip that we took last summer. And of course, that took nearly a year to get all the videos out. Uh, hey, Mason Wright, how you doing? Merry Christmas. So we don't have any plans to make any long trips like the US 61 trip and the I-55 trip. Uh, we made that trip because we had to, and we just videoed along the way. It's hard to get away for that length of time. That trip took about 10 days. And so we're trying to kind of focus on Louisiana highways for now. But I got a suggestion, and a super thanks, which we don't get very many of those, but Crazy Driver gave us a $10 super thanks and suggested US Highway 72, which is something we had been kind of looking at for a while. And US 72 US 72 starts and ends in Tennessee, but it dips down into Mississippi and Alabama. So since we'd already looked at it, and since it was suggested, and since he was nice enough to give us $10, uh, I'm looking at it a little bit harder. And what I'm seeing is it starts in Memphis at the corner of South Bellevue Boulevard and Union Avenue. But Google Maps is not very good about showing exactly where it is. It doesn't indicate that it starts here. It shows 79 and 64 and State Highway 23. But there's no mention of 72 on the map. Wikipedia shows that it starts at US 51 South Bellevue Boulevard as the western terminus, western end of US 64, US 70, US 79, State Route 23 overlaps Western Terminus for State Route 23. And I don't know what they mean by western end of US 64, US 70, US 79, because that's not the western end of any of those routes. Duende Verde from Argentina is watching. Evil Lang builds Mick2. Hello. Mason Wright, you going to Orlando? That's going to be a nice trip. And I got the TV on, and that's where I'm watching the chat. So if I miss your chat, I apologize. It's I have to actually look up to see it. So anyway, looking at US 72, and this is from having read the Wikipedia entry, it follows Union Avenue east and then hits East Parkway and goes up north a couple of blocks and then heads east again on Poplar Avenue. And from there it goes out of Memphis into Collierville. Then it dips down here into Mississippi. And it kind of parallels the Tennessee border from here. Goes through the Holly Springs National Forest. Dips down a little further south and goes into Alabama through Cherokee and Muscle Shoals. And then here we have an alternate 72 that goes east, and the main line runs north. And once again, Google did not show this on the map. It shows it as US 43 and State Highway 20 and 2 and 17, but no indication of 72. But it is called Lee Highway, which it is all through most of Tennessee once you get out of Memphis. So this goes right through the middle of Muscle Shoals in Sweet Home, Alabama. Goes up and crosses the Tennessee River, but I'm not sure where it goes from here because it's not in any way marked on the map. Excuse me. But I'm guessing it follows the yellow line. Let's see what Wikipedia says. Alabama. Oops. Western terminus of US 72 Alt. So it doesn't show the concurrency here, which is kind of weird. But it shows eastern end of 17, State Highway 17 overlap. Eastern end of US 43 overlap. Okay. See, but it's kind of hard to follow here. This has actually gotten into a different county. So I'm really going to have to study this carefully and map it out in advance. Okay, Lee Highway 43 goes up here to the north, and Lee Highway continues east. Still not marked 72, it's just marked State Highway 2. This is one of those things that we go through, though, when we're mapping out these U.S. highways and even state highways, is trying to figure out exactly where they go, because the signage is very poor and Google is not really a good, they're not real good with marking where the highways go. And looking through this list here, it doesn't show any concurrency with State Highway 2. Oh wait, SR2. Are we back in Tennessee here? Nope. So does that mean that this continues to the north? Back into Alabama? Sometimes on Google Maps, if you zoom in close enough, you can see I really have no idea. Take a look at something here. Looks like our bit rate's kind of low. I'm going to try switching networks here. See if I can get that a little bit better. It really shouldn't matter for what I'm from what I'm doing here, but okay, so hopefully I didn't just dump everybody, but I just switched networks. Does anybody watching know where US 72 goes in Muscle Shoals? See, alternate 72 comes along here and then gets on I-585, so it seems like it must join back up with the main line. And here's that State Route 2 again, Highway 72 East. So this is it, Lee Highway. So Tennessee must have State Route 2 as their internal designation for 72. But it really sucks that they don't have anything marked on the map other than Lee Highway. So I'm saying Tennessee, none of this is Tennessee. This is all Alabama. So let's see. Alabama does go through Huntsville. And the last city in Alabama before it crosses back into Tennessee is Bridgeport. So let's see where that goes. Whoa, what did I just do? There we go. Try mapping this whole thing out. This is how I generate those maps on the at the beginning of each video. So do you know what? I don't know where 72 ends. Chattanooga. So that's over here. and it's completely unmarked. Or if it's here, I'm not seeing it. But yeah, this is the preparation that we have to go through anytime we decide to follow a route. That doesn't go into Georgia, so where does it come in to? Oh, Lee Highway. So we got 4164, but no 72. So it shows concurrency with highway, US Highway 11, 64, 76, 27. No, it's a junction with 27. US 11 overlap. So it looks like it ends at West Main and Broad in Chattanooga. So West Main and Broad. Here's Broad. Where's West Main? It's 20th. I would think that Main is going to be... Oh, no, Riverfront Parkway. Looks like it's the end of the numbered streets. I'm not familiar with downtown Chattanooga that much. Somebody tell me where Main Street is in Chattanooga. I-24, 20th, 19th, 18th, 17th, 16th. I wonder if this is Main. It just says US Highway 41. Oh, West Main. Here it is. So this is the eastern terminus of US 72. It's just a regular old street corner. Oh, Cat Cafe. So let's see. So we got 11 people watching. Who all is here? Now let's see if we can make the blue line here follow 72, because otherwise it wants to go up through Nashville. Alright, so this is our route. I think this is going to be an interesting trip, though. It goes through a lot of little towns and some big towns. See, but here it goes to the alternate. check the chat real quick.
Million.
See if I'm missing anything. Nope, nobody's chatting. Why aren't y'all chatting? Tell me something. Let's see. So we got to route this up. I guess I'm just going to follow what says Lee Highway. And then I'll have to verify it later. I can just get an outline of the trip. Now this is something we're not going to be doing probably until the summertime. Because right now, first of all, it's wintertime, and wintertime is not a good time to be traveling, especially in the higher elevations. How's everybody doing weather-wise? We've just gotten out of the freezing weather. We stayed below freezing for about 36 hours. And now it's about 50 degrees. But I know in some places it's still really, really cold. I can't believe how badly Google's got this marked. Just following alternate 72. And I believe this is the actual route. Still says Lee Highway. But now that I'm thinking about that, let's take a look at so Alabama State Route 2 just brings up the US 72. So US 72 enters Alabama just west of Cherokee. The route parallels the Tennessee River east to Muscle Shoals. US 72 alternate splits from US 72. Main line turns north. Okay, throughout Alabama, US 72 is paired with unsigned State Route 2, SR2. So I guess we're on the right track. This shows a bypass. Oh, there's a business 72 and a bypass at South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Then we hit I-24, so what happens here? State Route 2. So what's the correct pronunciation of the word R-O-U-T-E? Because I tend to use route, although when there's a number behind it, I'll frequently say route, like Route 66, Route 61. So now what? What happens here? Does this get on 24? No, I've just completely lost the route. So we go to Street View and see what kind of signs they have. And in most cases, they don't. I think this is going to be one of those cases. Junction, Tennessee State Route 27, Secondary Route 27. Nothing indicating. So now this shows is the Dixie Highway, not the Lee Highway. This actually looks like a really interesting road, though. 2 lanes, 1 in each direction with a center turning lane. And this is also US Highway 41, and that's not signed either. Oh, but we're in Tennessee now, so State Route 2, or Route 2. Does Tennessee pick that up when it goes from Tennessee State Route 2? Both the primary and secondary route. Most of the route is unsigned. Huh. Let's see what this says about Tennessee. East Tennessee, US 72 enters Tennessee for the second time. South Pittsburgh. South Pittsburgh Corridor V ends, and that's referring to that Appalachian Development Corridor. Ends at an interchange with US and Interstate 24. US 64 concurrent with I-24 west of the exit departs the expressway and forms an overlap with US 72 through Kimball to Jasper, where US 41 joins the concurrency. Just east of Jasper, the highways cross the Tennessee River at Nickajack Lake. Route then follows a cut in the Cumberland Plateau made by the Tennessee River to the western outskirts of Chattanooga, where it interchanges with I-24 once more. So, just east of the interchange, US 11 joins the overlap. So back to the map. So South Pittsburgh, Jasper. Whoops. I keep on doing some kind of magnify thing. Okay. US 41. Cross the Tennessee River on Nickajack Lake. Okay, 4164. Where is this Nickajack Lake? It must be. Oh, Lee Highway. Okay, this is where it goes. Okay. So I guess we're still following 41, Lee Highway. I just can't believe that this highway isn't marked on this map. Route cannot be modified further. Google only lets you do that so many times, but it looks like we made it. If this is correct. Uh-oh. So 318 miles. So this is looking at the eastern terminus, looking west. No signage. I don't see anything to indicate that this is a U.S. highway or even any numbered highway. Maybe down at that intersection. Now this shows that that's North US 11. Now apparently this route goes very near or on part of Lookout Mountain. I know US 11 does. Just wish I could find some signs. Got plenty of interstate signs where to go. Because they're hell-bent on getting everybody onto the interstate, which is what we don't want to do. Ruby Falls. Looks like an abandoned building there. Whoa. See all kinds of interesting things on Street View. Looks like a very old bridge here too. Not a single sign. Railroad track. Mike's Smokehouse. Veterinary Care and Specialty Group. Dollar General. I think I'm going to start pointing out all the Dollar Generals on our routes. So yeah, this is the road that goes to Lookout Mountain. Okay, here's a sign. Doesn't say nothing about highway numbers. Now, I've been through this intersection a number of times. That's where you turn to go to Lookout Mountain. I think we've even got video of it. And I could swear there was signs here. Now, this is April 2022. Let's go back to 2018. No signs. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the road to Lookout Mountain. Seems like I've been down there before. Whoop, there was a sign. Look at that. West 64 and 72. And another one. Up South 11, North 41. See, in US 11 is another highway that I'd really like to do, but that would take 2 weeks. And I'd have to figure out something to film on the way back. But that would probably be good for a year's worth of videos. And being that it starts 15 miles from where I live, it's a good starting point. Anything that starts nearby is always good. And if I really had time, I could drive 11 all the way up to New York. And then, oh, this is the back way into Lookout Mountain. Yeah, if I really had time, we could drive US 11 up to New York and then find a route that goes west. Just kind of make a big circle around the country. Nice if we could take something from there to go to like Washington State and then take the Pacific Coast Highway down to San Diego. That place is abandoned. What was this? Lookout something. Office So I wonder if this was a motel. Or maybe there was a motel back up in there. Yeah, that's what that is. That's little cabins. Wow, and it was open in 2007. It's too bad the imagery is so bad. Lookout Tourist Lodge. Wow. That place is pretty run down. I wonder if it was really still open at this time. Or if that's just an abandoned vehicle. Satellite TV. There's another one. This one looks a little more active. Ruby Falls, turn left now. Every time I've ever been to Lookout Mountain, we've always gone up Ox Highway. And I know there's multiple routes on and off the mountain. I guess it's just the direction that we're coming from every time. But if you're ever in Chattanooga, that's a must-see. They got all kind of stuff you can do on Lookout Mountain. They got all kind of little motels and motor courts right in this little area here. I really wonder if this was like the main entrance at one time. This is Lookout Creek, the Chattanooga city limits. So yeah, I think this is going to be our route, and this is something that we're going to shoot for this summer, I think. And then, I don't know, maybe go up to Nashville. Could cover all of I-24, I think. Well, no, 24 goes further than I thought. But maybe we can. Because 24 starts right here in Chattanooga. Somewhere around here. I'm pretty sure I've been on Chattanooga on 24 between Chattanooga and Nashville, but I've never been beyond there. That would take us up into Kentucky. 504 Road Trips has never been to Kentucky. And I guess it ends here at 57. I've also never been on any part of I-57. And if I had unlimited time, I'd go from here to the beginning of I-57 and cover all of 57 up to Chicago. Because we didn't spend any time in Chicago when we went through there last year. We just kind of drove through and out because we were trying to get somewhere. It'd be interesting to get some driving around Chicago. Mason, I've been to Tennessee and Kentucky. We've never filmed Kentucky. Uh, we have some video in Tennessee. But in reality, I'd like to get I-65 north of Birmingham, Alabama. Because we kind of stopped. Well, we have video south from Nashville, but I'd like to get the rest of 65, which I guess goes all the way. That goes to Chicago too, or almost. Goes to just east of Chicago. I could drive 57 up and then drive 65 back. But like I've said, I don't have the luxury of time. I don't make enough money doing this to do it full time. I do have, business to run and a couple of houses to maintain. So yeah, it's difficult to get anywhere that far, unless we have some actual reason to go that far. Anyway, I think I'm going to shut the stream down because I got stuff to do. I got floors to pull up and trying to finish the renovation on the house that I've been working on for the last year. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be pulling up old asbestos tile floor and laying down vinyl plank. And then I got to put in baseboard, shoe molding, and the bulk of the project is done. I still got 2 bedrooms to do, but being that we sleep in one of those bedrooms, we got to decide where we're going to sleep for probably a month because the ceiling's got to be ripped out and all kind of stuff like that. Home renovations are not fun, I can tell you that. I've learned a lot over the last year. I've learned how to paint. And you wouldn't think that requires a lot of skill, but if you want it to look halfway decent, it does take some skill. But I just want to get the bulk of this project finished so that I can move around the house without having to walk on concrete floors, and at least have the part that if I have somebody over, the public part of the house is presentable rather than being the disaster that it's been. My dining room table has buckets of paint and tools and all kind of stuff piled up on it. I considered having some family over for Christmas dinner, but there's no place to eat. So, but hopefully I'll be done with that in the next month, and I'll be able to concentrate a little bit more on getting out and doing drives. Rather, excuse me, rather than having to recycle stuff and go out and do local highways that aren't really all that interesting, but I can do it in a few hours and get back home. So, but we have some plans to do at least something to get away from home this summer. So, anyway, I'm gonna shut it down. Thanks everybody for watching, and once again, I want to thank Crazy Driver for his $10 donation on a super thanks, and I apologize for not responding to him earlier because this happened 3 weeks ago, but YouTube didn't notify me of it, and I just happened to notice some revenue that wasn't supposed to be there, and I had to go searching for it. So Thanks to him and anybody else that wants to drop in a donation. Always helps. Uh, Helps defray the costs of making these videos. And, you know, if you haven't been to the gas pump lately, it's getting expensive. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Leave a comment below. Leave a comment on all of our videos because it helps us in the YouTube algorithm. Every like, every comment, even dislikes. Dislikes don't count against us. Any kind of interaction from our viewers bumps us up in that YouTube algorithm and gets us recommendations from YouTube for people to watch our videos. So anyway, that's about it. And we'll see you on our next 504 road trip.